Hey, I'm Samantha Panzera with Aspiring Writer Academy, and today I am super excited to be going over how to format your Microsoft Word document into an ebook to upload on Amazon KDP. I'll walk you through step by step how to format your book. All right, let's get to it. So right here, I have a really rough Microsoft Word document that I'm going to edit into an ebook that's going to be published on Amazon KDP. And one of the first things I'm going to do while formatting this ebook is I'm going to remove all the markup and comments that are in this document. A lot of times as an author, you have your editors, your writing critique group members, all editing throughout the manuscript. And one of the first things you want to do is clean all that up so it doesn't show up in the ebook. A lot of times authors turn off track changes where they don't see all that markup from their editors, critique group partners, where visually they don't see it in the manuscript. But when you go to publish your ebook on Amazon KDP, all that markup shows up in the Kindle book, and we don't want that. You want a nice polished manuscript that is properly formatted. On the home tab, you want to scroll over to review, and under review, even if you don't currently see the comments, like you can see the Microsoft Word doc is slightly shifted over to the left here, telling me that there's definitely some track changes and comments that need to be removed. There's this toggle that has all markup. I'm going to click this comments toggle right here. Now this brings up all the comments throughout the manuscript. And so if I click on one, it takes to a comment a different editor made in the document. And so you can click around and see, okay, these are changes that have been done with different revisions in the whole comment thread. So to remove all these comments and accept the changes that you've done on your manuscript, you're going to want to click this accept button under there's track changes. You can go over to this down arrow and click either accept and move on, or you can click accept all changes. This document already has had them accepted, and this is the polished manuscript. To remove these comments, go to the three little dot icon right here in the right corner. Click on that, and you can click delete thread, and then that removes that comment thread. And you can go one by one throughout your manuscript and delete them. Or a faster option is under this little top strip here. You go over to the delete button, click that down arrow, and then go over to delete all comments in document. And now that they're deleted, you can go over to no markup and exit out the comment panel. So yeah, that's how you turn off the track chains and remove all the markup throughout your document. So those comments from your editors are not showing up in the finished ebook. When editing your manuscript, one tool you're going to want to use a lot is under the home panel is this little paragraph icon. You're going to want to click on that. You can hit the Control plus star key to toggle that, or you can just hit the paragraph button. And that kind of brings up the code where you can see all the spaces and some of the behind the scenes stuff going on with your manuscript. And so right here, I'm on chapter 1, and I can see this document, the author has been using the tab tool to indent for each paragraph. A long time ago, while formatting, had to manually delete every single tab throughout the whole manuscript. So a cool shortcut, instead of manually going through the entire manuscript and deleting every tab indentation, is you can click Control H to bring up this find and replace tool, and then you're gonna add that upward V and then T, and that is gonna find every spot in the manuscript that the tab button was used. So leave that blank, and you're gonna click replace all. This will find every tab in the entire manuscript and remove that. All done. 261 replacements have been made. And after clicking the replace all, you can click close. So when formatting this Word document into a ebook, one of the next things I'm going to do here is apply some styling to the entire manuscript. I'm going to hit Control A to select every bit of text in this entire manuscript. And then you're going to want to click over that highlighted text, do a right click, and select Paragraph. Then that paragraph brings where we can adjust the indents and spacing of all the text on this manuscript. Under General, gonna click under the Alignment tab, gonna select Justified. Then on the outline level, gonna select Body Text. Then for the indentation on the inside, enter 0. On outside, enter 0. And then for special, we're gonna click first line, and we're gonna bop that down to from the 0.5 to 0.3, which is the industry standard for fiction ebooks. Then when going down under spacing, for the before, we're gonna enter 0. Can do point P. And then for the after, let's do 6 point. This is the space between paragraphs, just giving it a slight little bit of space there. The after, it adds that little bit of breathing room between the paragraphs, and it's commonly 6 point when formatting ebooks. And then line spacing, we're going to select 1.5. And then you want to make sure that this little checkbox, don't add space between paragraphs so the same style is selected. And then you can go ahead and hit OK. Now, some things might look a little wonky, but we'll clean that up and fix that. So right here, all the text is adjusted to justify, and those changes we did. Another thing you'll want to do is make sure that all the font and sizing is consistent throughout the manuscript. We'll change the chapter size and add special adjustments later, but for right now, I'm going to set it at a size 12 font. And when choosing a font for ebooks, you want to choose something readable. It's very common for people to use the Garamond font. I like the Garamond font for print books, but I actually prefer Times New Roman for the ebook. And then another font that is commonly used is the Georgia font, but you want to choose a very readable font. Those are more the industry standard, but for this tutorial, I'm going with the Times New Roman for the ebook, and we'll use the Garamond font for the print book. Okay, so to make these chapter headings a little bit nicer looking and format them where they look good, and also make it easy to make that clickable table of contents tab in the beginning of your ebook, you're going to want to create a custom style. You can do this in multiple ways. From the home tab, there's this strip here where you can click on the styles, this little down arrow, and that brings up styles where you can see existing ones, and you can hit that A+ to create a new style. Or another simple method is to just highlight your chapter 1 here, right click, and you can click on styles, the style tab. And from there, you can either apply a style or create a style. We're going to create one, that way it's easily recognizable and easy to add your clickable table of contents into your ebook. So we're going to click create a style. Give that style a name. I'm going to name it Table of Contents, TOC. Just do the abbreviation and then click Modify. And here you have your font option. Going to have it centered. Going to bop that up to 16, which is pretty industry standard for ebooks. Keep it black. Okay. So all of that is looking good, and you can click OK. So that there now created in your top style bar, there's my TOC. Now, if I scroll down chapter 2, it'll make that exactly the same as chapter 1 in formatting. So I'm scrolling down to chapter 2, and you just highlight, and you can click TOC, and that you do that on repeat throughout your whole manuscript. Now, as you can see, right here, chapter 2 does not start on its own page. We're going to go through and fix that. So hitting the little paragraph icon here, where it shows all these spacing, where the author had just hit that enter key to bop down chapter 2, we're going to insert page breaks. So right here at the end of chapter 1, I'm going to go over from the home tab and click insert. And then right here is page break. And right there, it now inserts that page break, popping chapter 2 down. And we can do, it's good to keep all of these spacing consistent. And so what I like to do is center, keep it 2 underneath, and then I generally do 8 down. So let's delete these. So you count them out: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So those 2 there gotta go. And then I go through every chapter and make sure every chapter is consistent with 8 spaces down with 2 under it. And if you want it not so big, you can always click on paragraph and have them single spacing. That's just a little bit tighter, but not necessary. So going to chapter 1, that you can see by hitting this paragraph tab, there's all these spacing here. And so let's clean that up a bit. I'm gonna delete all of these. I'm highlighting, gonna hit the delete. After the acknowledgements, gonna hit enter, and then go over to the home tab, click on insert, then page break. That way chapter 1 starts on its own. I'm gonna move this date down to right there. I just did Control C to copy and Control V to paste. Delete it from there. And make sure there's 8 spaces down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Keep it consistent. 2. And then you can paragraph single space it. Yeah, you can go through your manuscript and insert page breaks throughout the thing. So we'll do a few more. Okay, so right here, now at the end of chapter 2, I'm gonna insert a page break here. Home, insert, page break. Now on chapter 3, gonna delete all these paragraph icons. Now you can see a few of them are red. Obviously, that's a mistake from revisions. Someone had probably written something in red highlighted in the manuscript and then it had been deleted, but it hadn't been deleted from the code. Sometimes those colors can show up wonky in a published ebook. And so if you want to, before even deleting them, you could just turn it to automatic black right there. And then gonna delete these. Make sure there's the 8 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then 2 under. Align center. Right click paragraph. Line spacing. Move it to single. And then chapter 3, make sure you click on your table of contents style. And yeah, you repeat the process throughout your whole manuscript. Right here, now end of chapter 3, gonna insert page break. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 down. Then home, align center. So just go and do that throughout the whole manuscript.
By the way, if you're liking the content in this video, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. That way you get notified each time we come out with future videos all about writing and publishing.
Next, a little styling thing I like to do when formatting a ebook is add a little embellishment. Over here in my file folder, I have created a 160 by 33 pixel little embellishment that I'm going to insert into the manuscript. When inserting images or graphics into your manuscript, you want to make sure you hit the insert picture button in Microsoft Word. You do not want to copy and paste it, or there can be formatting issues later on where it just shows up weird and wonky in Kindle. So right here on chapter 1, I want to insert this nice graphic. Like, for example, I have it right here. And so just for the tutorial, I'm gonna start from scratch. So right here, I have my 8 little spaces down, and then I have my table of contents. And so I have my cursor where I want to insert my image graphic. I'm gonna click over Insert, go to Pictures, and this device. I'm gonna select my little 160 pixel graphic and click Insert. And then if it isn't centered, you can adjust the layout. Let's say if it popped up over here, you can hit the center button right here. And then you can go throughout your whole manuscript inserting the image like that. So for example, right here on chapter 2, let's say I didn't have that there. I can have my cursor right here, go to Home, click Insert, and under Images, click this device and insert the image. So another thing you want to do when editing your manuscript is you're going to want to go through the entire document and look for little errors and stuff. So when you justify your text, like right here, these little asterisks for dividing a person's point of view, they're now all on the left. And so to clean that up, I'm going to highlight and just select them and hit center. And so doing those little styling details, you're going to want to make sure you have the same amount of spacing. There's that little paragraph between each one. So throughout the whole manuscript, you don't want, for example, there's 2 spaces under the bottom while the other one only has 1. And so you want to go for that consistency throughout the document. And so scroll through your manuscript and wherever you find those little errors. Now, right here, this pop of red, that's a little editing error. And so sometimes those highlighter, I've seen yellow highlights, red highlights show up in finished ebooks. And so you just want to make sure that it's the normal color of the rest. So let's remove those random highlights. And usually just doing that color correction makes it where it won't show up in the finished manuscript. Sometimes the code for a different color swatch just makes it pop up where we don't want it to. Now right here, see these little asterisks, want to center them. And this one has 2 spaces underneath instead of the 1. And so you pick one style and go with it. So right there, just 1 space between them. Fix, turn that matching the rest. But yeah, just go through and clean that all up. So right here on the About the Author page, when I toggle it, you can see I have the page break at the end of the story. And then I have the table of contents style with the little embellishment added underneath. And then here's the author blurb with a page break underneath. So right here under this graphic, I'm going to want to insert an image when formatting. And again, when inserting an image, you go over to the Insert tab, and then you click Pictures, and then you select this device. It's important to format your image beforehand to the right size. You don't want to just scale an image smaller or larger in your manuscript, or that can cause weird, wonky formatting effects. So I'm going to click this device and then select the image that I resize smaller to fit in this manuscript, and then click Insert. And right there, now have a nice image in the document. Now, another really cool feature you can do with ebooks is you can have links. You can have links to your other books, to your email newsletter sign up, to your author website. So right here on this newsletter sign up page, I have a click to join. And if you want to add a link like that, you go over to the insert tab right next to the home, and then you can go over to links and click the down button, click insert link. Then right here, you can choose an existing file or web page, and then you can enter right here the address. And so right here I have thedarlenepanzera.com/newsletter, and then you hit OK. It's very important not to just have a copy and pasted link. You want to do your hyperlink through the Microsoft Word document. So anyways, after you have your link, click OK. So right here I have text, and then you can go over to insert, picture, this device, select another book cover, and you can go here, insert link, enter the address for people to buy your next book. If you don't like the color of what your links are set to, you can always edit them. So on the home, right here, if you want maybe a prettier shade of blue, you can select your colors. So yeah, you can go through and make your whole manuscript. Make sure you have all your page breaks where you want them. When formatting your book in the beginning, you want to make sure that your page margins are all set to 1 inch by 1 inch. When formatting for a paperback, it'll be a little different, but for ebook, that's a good starting point. So right here in the beginning of the manuscript, I went over to insert and clicked blank page and inserted some blank pages into the document. Right here, I'm gonna insert the book cover. So home, image, insert, pictures, this device, and gonna click Golden Horizons compressed image 1 and click insert. That way, when people open up the book, there's these nice embellished details that look nice and pretty. When formatting your ebook, you're going to want to make sure you create a copyright page. There's a lot of great templates online for creating your own copyright. You're going to want to make sure that you have the mailing address where people can contact you, the year that your book is published, have the words all rights reserved. And then for permission requests, you'll want to have a email where people can contact you if they're wanting to request permission to use like quotes or reference your book. If you have multiple editions of your book, you can have them right here. So if your book has been previously published, let's say you had a different cover or you had it included in an anthology with a bunch of other writers, you want to list on your copyright page the other editions of your book and when they came out. So this book that I'm formatting right here, Golden Horizons, was originally published in 2019 as Hearts Sewn with Love in the Sew and Love anthology by Barber Books, an imprint of Barber Publishing. And now I have the second edition listed as being published in 2025 with the new name change of Golden Horizons. You want to have the cover design copyright of who your graphic design artist is. And so right here I have myself, Samantha Panzera, listed. And then right here you'll want to have listed the ISBN numbers and enter them here. And then you have listed where this book is printed. And if you aren't sure, you can read up on where your books are printed using Amazon. And then, of course, you want to have your disclaimer that this is a work of fiction. Names, characters, places, incidents are either a product of the author's imagination or used fictitiously. Any resemblance to actual persons, living or dead, events, locales are entirely coincidental. And so basically, read into copyrights, what you need to have on your page. There's a lot of great templates out there that can walk you through everything to put on your ebook's copyright page. And again, using the method of creating the hyperlinks, make it where your email is easily clickable. Now, once you've gone through your entire manuscript, adjusting and cleaning up everything that you want to clean up, entering all your images and hyperlinks at the end of your book for your other stories, and you're ready to create your table of contents, you're going to go to the blank page that you created. And remember, when inserting a blank page, you just go over to insert and blank page. So let's say if I want one above here, can click blank page. And when you have the home, a paragraph tab, you can see there's a blank page right there. So I'm going to click my cursor right here where I want my clickable ebook table of contents page to go. And under the home, go over to references. So on the references tab, you can scroll over to the left where there's table of contents, down click, and then we're going to click on custom table of contents. So right here on custom table of contents, we're going to unclick show page numbers. You'll leave that on when formatting for paperback books, but when formatting the ebook, you want that off. That way it's the clickable hyperlinks where people can click on chapter 1, click on chapter 2, and immediately jump to that chapter. And then you select a layout. There's all different ones you can scroll through. For this tutorial, I'm just going to click on fancy. Then you're going to click on this options tab and going to click right here and scroll through and delete the one from heading. And you're going to want to select the title, the heading style that you used for your chapter titles. So over here, I'm going to click on my table of contents and click on 1, and that selects everything in your table of contents. Then click OK and make sure that your format. Be careful, sometimes when going back from options, it automatically wants to recheck that show page numbers icon, and so just make sure that's toggled off. That way only the checkbox with use hyperlinks instead of page numbers is selected. Then you have your format, and then click OK. Now, boom, right here, it inserted a whole bunch of links. If there's anything that shows up in the table of contents that you don't want to link to or have in your TOC, but you wanted that same style, you can easily delete it. So in this book, I use the same table of contents style header for chapter 1. I included a bonus chapter to one of Darlene's stories in the back of her book, and so I'll delete that. So you just highlight that one and delete it. So right here showing up as table of contents, acknowledgements, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. And so for example, if I click on that, it takes me to acknowledgements. And scroll up, let's click on chapter 5, takes to the chapter 5. And then Kindle can reference this table of contents when they get your book, and so it adds it to Kindle's table of contents. So in addition to the front page here being clickable, it helps the Kindle system navigate and where they have their own drop down on Kindle Fires and other Kindle devices where people can select these chapters and easily go to the different chapters in your book. So that's how you create a table of contents. So once you believe you have your ebook formatted, it's good to go through a few times and proof it. Make sure that, again, the home tab, paragraph icon selected where you can see all the spacing of your manuscript. Go through, make sure all the styles are looking good. Every chapter starts on its own page with the correct page breaks. All the little asterisks are centered, and that your formatting is consistent. So right here is the end of the book, then the about the author page, then there's the dear reader, email newsletter sign up, Then there's the bonus chapter for a book. And again, you don't have to have all this back matter in your own ebook, but if you do have other books published, it's really nice to add links to your other stories. That way, readers who like your book can easily find other books written by you. So right here, I included chapter 1. Now right here, I need to add a few more, turn those into clickable links, but you can see the manuscript is coming along. And especially with ebooks, it's really nice, like in the back, if you add some color images that just add that little bit of customization to everything.
And that's how you format a Microsoft Word document into an ebook. Now, if you want some help on how to upload your book to Amazon KDP, check out this other video that walks you through the whole step-by-step process on how to publish your book on Amazon. All right, catch you next time.